Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. Welcome to O Allah. Join us on a journey of enlightenment as we explore the teachings of Islam and delve into the beautiful principles that guide our lives. Whenever a person falls ill or faces any trauma, they immediately seek out medical help for their various ailments and carefully take the prescribed medicines by their doctor according to his recommendations, following his advice. Similarly, the spiritual heart or soul also gets afflicted with various ailments, and hence it is recommended and proven from Quran and prophetic traditions to follow the prescribed supplications or invocations from the scripture Quran and the Hadith as narrated by Prophet and his companions and proven through their legacy. These supplications have been handed down to us from our pious predecessors in a continuous chain and authentic manner. Thus Imam al-Haddad's Al-Virt al-Latif is one such compilation of physical as well as spiritual ailments and their cure. Definition of Virt al-Latif: Al-Wirdu al-Latifu. Al-Virt al-Latif is a collection of adkar or morning/evening supplications to be recited daily on a regular basis, compiled in a succinct manner by Imam al-Haddad. Literal meaning: Virt. The word comes from a verb which means to seek a source of water, and also to receive something as a divine inspiration. Whereas the term al-Latif, which is also one of the 99 beautiful names of Allah the Glorious, means subtle, or light. Hence collectively it would imply a collection of adkar or divine supplication in a very compact and concise manner which is not cumbersome for the believer to recite and light and easy on the tongue. Religious implication. A virt is what we as worshippers seek as a source of healing for our hearts. At its origin it is a divinely inspired collection of prayers, all drawn from the actual invocations of the Prophet would make in his prayers in speaking to Allah the Almighty, our Creator. All of the prayers contained in this Wirdul Latif come to us from the prayers of Prophet had he left for us as a legacy and a means of connecting with Allah the Exalted. What this virt offers is a specific arrangement of those invocations. A word is a certain form of dhikr with which the believer can keep his tongue moist at all times. While remembering the Creator Allah the Almighty in all his matters of day-to-day life. He can just open this wide chest of adkar drawers and pick and choose the appropriate one and make supplications using that. Many authentic supplications are quoted in the Quran scripture as the du'as made by the prophets on certain occasions, and then there are some other verses which our pious predecessors have recommended for reciting on certain occasions. Then we have numerous supplications narrated from the prophetic traditions or hadith which the scholars have compiled in the form of orad or booklets. Hence they are easy to carry if one is traveling and is in the habit of reciting these supplications on a regular basis, then he can just use the small booklet for this purpose. Nowadays people carry digital copies on their mobile phones which are even more handy and accessible for the busy working people who have very short time in their break during a full working day for reciting the supplications. Brief biography of Imam al-Haddad, may Allah the Exalted have mercy on him. Background of Imam al-Haddad. Imam Abdullah al-Haddad is the Mujaddid, or one who is known as the renewer of the 12th Islamic century. He has a momentous contribution towards the spreading of teachings of Islam through his books that were accepted in wide numbers by the Muslim population all over the world. He was born in Tarim, which is located remotely in the hills of Hadramaut, which is one of the southern regions of the Arabian Peninsula. His lineage is traced back to the Prophet through Imam al-Hussein. His ancestors had for centuries produced generation after generation of great scholars who worked tirelessly to spread the deen of Allah the Almighty, calling people to the straight path. Imam al-Haddad, after having spent his life in the path of Allah the Almighty, bringing people closer to the teachings of Islam through his written publications and lectures, passed away on the eve of the 7th of Dhul-Qa'dah, 1132 AH. For a more thorough biography of the Imam. Compilation of Virt al-Latif. Imam al-Haddad's initial invocation was the Wird al-Kabir, which he recited daily after the morning and the evening prayers. Then there were some other supplications as well, which he used to recite, that are required for spiritual purification of the heart, to seek the pleasure of Allah the Almighty and to remain in a state of closeness to Him. Since the Wird al-Kabir was rather lengthy, hence Imam had the foresight to condense it in a shorter version which would be easier to recite. He foresaw that people with the passage of time would become more preoccupied and involved in the mundane activities of this world and give preference to it instead of the hereafter. They will find it cumbersome to even take out a few minutes to connect with their Lord Allah the Almighty from their day-to-day routine. Hence he shortened the lengthy adhkar to concise ones so that it could be completed in less than 10 to 15 minutes. Once a person has become familiar with the supplications by reciting on a daily basis, it would take no more than a few minutes from his daily schedule in morning and evening. This is recommended by the predecessors. However, if one can simply not find the time, then at least once a day recitation is required. Benefits of Wird al-Latif. Arabic language differs from other languages since it is the language of the Quran, the language that Allah the Exalted chose to make worthy of conveying His message and revelation. It is a very rich language with a single word or term implying multiple forms or meanings. Hence, Muslims all over the world have always recited both the Quran and the prophetic invocations in their original Arabic terms, even when they were unable to understand the meaning of those particular terms in that language, in order to make sure that they lose none of the rewards, blessings and healing effects, which would otherwise be lost in the translation or reciting with some terms interchangeably. There are many benefits of reciting these adhkars on a daily basis. Rewards and blessings from Allah the Almighty. It is a cure for the diseased heart, protection from the ailments and the devil mischief and traps, as well as different trials and tribulations. In a narration, Prophet tells us that Allah the Exalted says, "Whoever gives me a moment of their time in the morning, and a moment of their time in the evening, I will take care of the time for him that lies in between." In Quran, Allah the Almighty addresses the believers in Surah Al-Insan. Chapter 76, verse 25. Wa dhkuri isma rabbika bukratan wasilan. Remember the name of your Lord at dawn and in the evening. This provides ample proof as the basis of recommending these adhkar for the believer as an essential part of his daily dosage for connecting with Allah the Almighty on a regular basis. Best timings to recite Wird al-Latif. Wird al-Latif is preferably to be recited after Fajr and Maghrib. If this is not possible, it is to be recited once before and once after midday, whenever time is available. As with all the supplications and adhkar of Imam al-Haddad, al-Wird al-Latif is made up of prophetic supplications, and it is composed into a formula that is most suitable at appropriate times to fulfill the needs of the Muslim believer. Since we all need Allah the Almighty to execute our daily tasks and we rely and depend so heavily on Him for our needs, this Wird al-Latif is the means of fulfillment of this desperate need. It is one of the scholarly opinions that one of the intentions held by Imam al-Haddad as he was inspired to compose this Wird, was that it can be easily accessible to as many people as possible, since the literal meaning of Latif in its title is quick or light. Because it is comparatively brief to recite. The complete guide to reciting Wird al-Latif. Intention. The Wird al-Latif may be recited with the purpose and intention of seeking the rewards and blessings of Allah the Exalted and His close protection and proximity and help in all matters of life. Below we will mention a few of these supplications, however a complete detail can be found in the various supplication and adhkar booklets easily available and accessible, and there is a YouTube video link below in case someone wants to just listen first instead of recitation.